What's up, yo? Good morning. Good morning. How are you today? What's going on? I should have need to search on YouTube. I'll just wait for a few people. I think it's going. Let me double check here. All right, there are 5 people watching. Sorry I'm late, you guys. You know I'm on CP time. You know I'm on CP time. All right, there are 5 people. All right, let me just turn this off. I gotta monitor if they're here. Hey, Kelly. What's up? Kelly Cabot. That's a cool name. Kelly Cabot? Get it back up. Read it. Kelly Cabot. What's up, Kelly? How are you? Good morning. Buenos dias. Buenos Doritos. All right. I'm just waiting for a few minutes. How you guys doing? Talk to me in the chat while everybody's jumping on. Let's see. What's up? How are you? Happy Wednesday. Hey, John. Hey, Brandon. Contemplating our future, I know. It's interesting, right? So I'm going to wait a couple more minutes. Are you guys at work? I'm just setting up my links a little bit. Setting up all the goody gun drops for today to promote and to talk about. What is EO 218? Hello, Cerebral. What's going on? Oh, wait. Let me... Oh, I need to run and get my pen. Take track of the callers. Oh, my God. It's been a crazy... It's about to get crazier, I think, you guys. Are you guys ready? Are you ready for the craziness? How you guys doing with the craziness? I'm just going to run and get my water. Another day saying no to the... I know, right? The devil serum. I know, we got to come up with... I don't know if you guys can hear me. We got to come up with code words right now so we can still talk about this stuff. I call it the Roro jab. Oh, EO, Executive Order 218. What is that? Is that the one against foreign interference? I'm not sure. So, I don't know. I think that's the one. There's so many. No Roro jabs. No Roro jab works. Yeah. Got you. Okay, cool. That is the one about, yeah. Election interference. I know. Man, it's... This shit is cray. I know people are like they're all entertained from other parts of the world. Yeah, it's going to get real weird. I think they're going to try and lock us down again. So I hope you guys are stocked up with food and all that stuff as much as you can. Hi, Shikaris. Sorry if I'm butchering your names. Shikaris, what's up? All right, y'all. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. Last stream, they took my stream down because they didn't even let it premiere because I pretty much talked about everything I wasn't supposed to talk about. So they didn't even. Oh, which reminds me, I'm gonna start recording. I'm gonna start recording from my. I need to start recording. From my end, so people, so I can have a copy of myself in case they do that again. So, yeah, more people can't wait for 2020 to end, but 2021 will be more intense. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, my perspective is that we're going through a transformation. It doesn't have to be bad in the end, but transformations aren't easy. They're never easy. They're never, subtle. So we kind of have to go through this, I think. We've been so, Americans are very, I'm not bagging on Americans, but I think we are kind of spoiled in the sense that we've never really... In generations, we haven't had to go through anything intense where we had to fight for our freedoms and fight for our country. So it's our turn now to do that, All right, guys, I'm going to do my promos right now. And here we go. So please, I'm going to play my Conspiracy Realist commercial. I finished the course for those of you guys who've already bought the course. So please purchase it. Or check it out. Wait. Are you serious? Oh, there we go.
Trying to wrap your head around the computer.
That's why. I had some comedy for you guys.
Having a good time.
I'm trying to get some comedy for you guys too, some clips, because everything is so intense right now. So okay, let's start over. Let's start over with the Conspiracy Realism course that I'm offering. I gotta pay my bills, y'all, but I think it's really for anybody who kind of wants a really good beginner's perspective, some information to give people, I think it's pretty good for kids. I watch my mouth. I don't curse, you guys. For you guys who doesn't worry, it's very, it's pretty clean for the people that are wondering. But here we go. All right, let's start again.
Have you ever been called a conspiracy theorist? Are you trying to wrap your head around the complete and utter that's going on in the world today?
We know you're a conspiracy to make us all believe in conspiracy. People must believe what they like.
Are you trying to make sense of what you are experiencing as opposed to what you are being told?
Tell me the whole story. I'll fill in the blanks, but don't tell me something that you think I'm supposed to know.
If so, Conspiracy 101 is the perfect course for you. In this course, I teach you through 10 modules via lectures and video clips the conspiracy realist side of the story. This course will give you a great starting point to help figure out systemic mechanisms of control and the effects they have on our society. Don't fret. This information is empowering and sobering. The knowledge you will attain is a good defense mechanism against people who want to dismiss you because you have a different perspective or ask different questions about official narratives presented to you. This course is good for families, teenagers, or anyone who wants to be an empowered and knowledgeable individual. Are you ready to do this? If you are, purchase in the links in the description, and I'll see you in the first lecture.
Okay, so I saw... Oh, crap. Alright, so I saw a really good question. Somebody said only conspiracies. No. So basically, I'll just show you the modules. They're 10, right? So I go through what is conspiracy, right? What does it mean? When people say something is a conspiracy, what does it mean? I think the term is very loosely used and overused. So I'll basically break down what a conspiracy is, how there are conspiracies throughout history, because there've always been conspiracies, whether to overthrow, countries or to get someone out of power. But it was invented in the 60s as a pejorative to have people that question anything that's any official narratives, is to basically call them a conspiracy, really. So the first module, I talk about the origins of that and how that came to be. It really came after the Kennedy assassination, when we were supposed to believe that just one person killed Kennedy, and a lot of people started questioning it. And because there were a lot of witnesses there that saw different things, and they were trying to get people not to question the narrative, so they had to come up with some psychological operation to basically get people to shut up through humiliation. So that one of that thing was the CIA invented the term conspiracy theorists, right? So basically that just calls people crazy. Anybody that questions, conspiracies, right? So then the second module, I talk about who rules the world, or who wants to rule the world, right? Like maybe people in power, certain things that they've done to take over certain industries to maintain power. I give you a lot of jumping off points, but I don't really tell you. I still leave room in there for you to think for yourself. So I'm not trying to shove anything down your throat, but I think that there's information that people, if they knew this information, they would understand a lot of what's going on now. So the third module, I talk about, is it possible to rule the world? I talk about compartmentalization and, how the techniques that people use to gain control over a mass amount of people. So, for instance, one of the examples I use is the Unabomber, right? Compartmentalization, where you get people to do your bidding for you and they don't even know what they're doing. So the Unabomber, for instance, he sent bombs to people, but he used the post office to do it. So like the postal people, they're just doing their job. They don't know that they're delivering bombs, but he has a bomb inside and he's getting them to basically deliver his message or his deadly bomb to other people. Just stuff like that. Then I talk about the corruption in medicine and science. I'd go over the Carnegies and the Rockefellers and how that all was broke down, and how they, took over the medical system, and how the allopathic medical system got maintain control. That's probably like the longest one out of all the modules. I think that one's 2 hours long. Each one of them, or at least about an hour 30 minutes, but the medicine and science one was the longest one probably. And then I talk about the education system, how that started off, and they broke that down. I talk about law and government. I talk about censorship in media, art and culture, innovation and suppression. And then the bright side, basically, I just go over how to talk to people, how to disseminate this information, and talk about how to deal with people that think that you're crazy, how to deal with it. Because, there's some people that are just going to think that, there's nothing you can do about it. But, I always end on a light note. I always try and make it about empowering people through knowledge and not making people feel like it's gloom and doom. I mean, for me, coming across this information really has helped me. And I use clips. I do lecture, and I have a booklet that comes with each module that you can read through, a PDF booklet, and it's very nicely organized. And so I wrote the booklets that go with it. You can read along with the course. If you become a $20 a month patron on Patreon, I'll give you the first module for free, and you can see what it's like. And same thing, or Subscribe Star, right? And if you come up, or Patreon, same thing. The perks are the same for each level, except on Subscribe Star, I do have a $2 option that I don't have on Patreon. But I know that there's some people that, because of politics or whatever, they prefer Subscribe Star over Patreon. So I have Subscribe Star people, and I have Patreon for people that would like to. I have so many ideas that I would like to portray. I have definitely more interviews coming up. I have some skits I'm working on. I have some informational, like, mini movies I'm working on. But if I can just get a constant, I don't know, like 500 people a month right now at $5 a month, even at $2 a month, okay? $5 a month. I know people are strapping for cash, but you know, instead, I mean, I have the option for you guys to PayPal me or Cash App me, but if you're asking me what I want, I really would want like a steady income of, you know, stream of income where I can really like take this channel to the next level, right? So if you want to visit the Patreon and the Subscribe Star in the links, they're at the bottom, they're in the description if you would like to. And thank you for you guys that are, you know, that have already donated. I really appreciate it. For the Subscribe Star, I can't access the money until I hit $100, and I haven't even hit $100 yet on that. But I still am appreciate it. So don't think I'm ungrateful, because I'm very grateful and I'm very warmed in my heart when you guys donate. Also, please get on my email list, because with all the censorship going on, who knows what's going to happen. But my email list is the best way to get into contact with me. Go to TrutherTalk.com and sign up here. You can also go to the shop, another way you can support. I'm also designing a couple of new t-shirts, but I also have informational zines that I've made for kids or for beginners, one on cannabis, 2 on vaccines, and 1 on GMOs. Which, you know, when I was a teacher, I saw these subject matters were severely lacking in the curriculum, you know, and the kids need to know like what's in their food and why. I also have these 2 amazing pieces of artwork done by Narcisa Palma, which is, one is like an Animal Farm version meets They Live, right? Then we have also, this one is more detailed, but I called it Conspiracy City, right? It's really cool. These are posters. It has, I think I'm going to have to do a video describing the artwork, but these are awesome. These are dope. You can frame it, and it's really cool. It has a lot of little, like, Easter eggs and stuff in it describing the society that we live in. I also have, of course, the famous Conspiracy Realist t-shirt right here, if you want to like to purchase that. And here are the zines. And we also have the All Lives Matter bumper sticker. All Lives Matter, men and women have equal rights, veracious science. Let me move it over a little bit. All lives matter, men and women have equal rights, veracious science is real science. There's a difference between legal and illegal immigrants. Where there is love, there is life, and freedom is everything. So I have that right there. Yeah, and also please join my music channel. I'm going to be relaunching my campaign in January. Hopefully January. I'm waiting for things to kind of simmer down and get crazy, but I'm going to do another, I lowered the amount that I was asking for, and I'm just going to focus on an EP instead of an album and doing music videos. All I really want to do is be able to get the band members and the masters and the mixers paid to do this project. Hold on. Yeah, so this is my music channel. It's in the links as well. I also have my music video that I did, Don't Believe It, talking about the Lying Media, and then I have 3 other singles that I wrote before that. If you go to my Biavi website and sign up there, you actually get one of the singles for free. So that's an incentive to join that email list as well. And then also my backup channel, TrutherTalkReborn. Please join that, because who knows, man. If I get, my channel's been completely demonetized, but if I get 1,000 subscribers on this one, I can start monetizing again. Until I guess I piss them off and they demonetize me again. I don't know what's going to happen. So I've been considering whether or not I should, you know, still just make another backup YouTube channel, and I've decided I should. Because that's where the war is. If this was in any other business, I would definitely would have bounced by now. But I also think, because I believe that there are lawsuits coming, that they're trying to get people they're trying to de-incentivize people so they can just leave, and I'm trying not to leave. So anyway, all right. So with all this stuff going on right now, with all the craziness, I always try and have some comedy. For people, make them laugh a little bit. So today I just picked this short little piece from Kevin Hart. I thought was funny. Everybody could probably relate to. Let me see. Let me go back a little bit. All right, so sipping my juice.
I see a lot of couples here together, man. You guys don't understand what you're in. You don't know how serious it is. I don't mind seeing couples. I don't like seeing new couples. I can't stand new love. I hate it. That's me being honest with you. It's too much. I don't like over love. You ever see those couples that go too far? That's too much. You ever see it like a couple that's in love, like newly in love, trying to share? You ever witnessed that? Hey, babe. Hey, babe. Hey, love butt. Hey, I got a little bit of juice left. You want some juice? Yeah? You want to take a sip? I'll take a sip. You take a sip. You want to do it like that? You want to go sip, 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 like that, back and forth? Yeah? Go ahead, take a sip. Okay, give it to me. Nah, shut up. Nah, you do it. Good, good. Now. Same time, do it. Your nose is in the way. Nah, your nose is in the way. I love you. Too much. I fucking hate it. I like older couples. I like couples that's got time in, man. You know why? Because I like to see those couples argue. Couples with time in, small problems become big problems. If you got time in, right now juice can become a problem. Let you go buy some juice and she with you while you buy the juice. You go outside, open up the juice, she asks for a sip of your juice. Bet money you lose your mind over that sip of juice. Bet money you snap. As soon as you get outside, babe, let me get a sip. Bitch, didn't you see me buy the juice when I was inside? So you wanted some juice? Why do you ask for some juice? Now you want to take a sip of my juice, fuck around, take a double sip. I'm left with a little ass sip, because your over thirsty ass want to take a double sip. No, get your own juice, walk your fat ass inside, you sipping juice bastard. You wasn't even thinking about juice. That'll be on your mind all day. 7 hours later, you bring it back up, a sip of my goddamn juice. You are something else, you know that? You are something else. You wasn't even thinking about the juice.
All right, I just a little silliness there, you guys. All right, so what's going on? I think I'm gonna start a. Oh no! He's so strong. Oh, he was so mean. He's so rich though. I bet you he's married. Shit, he ain't care. He makes money off of talking about how short he is. I'll just tell you something, just kind of funny real fast before I start taking calls. Let me open up Skype. But I liked Kevin Hart, and then I stopped liking Kevin Hart because there was this model or something. He was doing this show, and there was this model, and they were in like this tub, and there were candles around, and her weave caught on fire. And then he was like, "Ha ha, your weave's on fire!" Like he didn't help the person. And then I remember, but I was really upset about that. And the reason I was upset because I had a weave that caught on fire. And I didn't think that shit was funny. It was in Vegas, guys. Everything in Vegas stays in Vegas, man. It's true, man. Shit goes down in Vegas. Weave catching on fire. People get drunk. But yeah, my weave totally caught on fire. I was talking to this guy, and there were candles, and I flipped my hair. And the hair flipped into the candle, and my fucking hair caught on fire. I just didn't think that was funny. So, just don't, note to you guys, if you have a weave, unbelievable. I know, right? If you have a weave, I don't have weaves anymore. I don't wear weaves. This is all my real hair. So, you ever have a weave, you guys, never flick your hair around the candles. Just be careful. When you're running down the street with a weave on fire, people get out of your way. Yeah, it's not like a turn on too if you're talking to a guy and your weave catches on fire. I was like, oh, my hair's in my face. Whoof! And then, my hair's on fire. It was kind of funny. And I remember in the old days when jerry curls were hot, my mom had a jerry curl, and we had this heater that was like it was like a tall heater. I remember my mom was standing in front of the heater. And her jerry curl got on fire. That shit was so funny. Then I had to be like, then I was like, well, you know what? It is kind of funny when people's hair catches on fire, as long as they're not like maimed, for life. And so, it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. She laughed about it too. My mom has a good sense of humor. I mean, she laughed about her jerry curl catching on fire when it was over. Not during. Because during was probably pretty traumatic, I'm sure. But yeah, is Skype open? All right, 512-481-7464. You had a Jericho when you were a kid. Did it catch on fire? Did people try and set? I had this dude that there was this dude on the bus, on the school bus, and he got into a fight, and this guy had a lighter, and he had a Jericho, and he tried to set his Jericho on fire. Hey guys, this is Truther Talk, where we talk about setting people's hair on fire. That's the topic of today. If you're offended, you can unsubscribe. There you go. Did you have a full jerry curl, or did you just have like the top jerry curl? Like you have the shy side Shakuras, did you have like the top jerry curl, or did you have... No, oh, okay, that's good. He says, no, mine never caught on fire. That's good because jerry curls are very flammable. That shit's chemicals. Relaxers are bad too. And I'm not dogging you if you have a relaxer, because I had a relaxer too, but you're basically putting acid on your hair. Brought to you by Pepsi. Yeah, you're putting acid on your hair, basically. It's not good. It's a lot of upkeep. A lot of upkeep. 512-481-7464. At Troll. Where's my water? Where's my water? Alright, so what do you guys want to talk about today? So the code word for what we're not supposed to talk about, I'm just going to talk about in my video, is ejection Claude. What does ejection Claude run with you guys? Something we're not supposed to talk about. Anybody want to say in the comments? Ejection Claude. You know, like Candy Book. We're not supposed to talk about Candy Book now. Ejection Claude has been added to the list of things we're not supposed to talk about. I think it worked because I didn't get a tag in the middle, in the bottom of the the video. Ejection Claude. Hello, haha. Ejection Claude. Almost, Fiddlesticks. I'll put it in the comments. Oh. Yes, you got it. Yes. I can see it. Electile dysfunction. Yeah. I like that. I almost said erection Claude, but I thought ejection Claude was a little cleaner. Yeah, so I saw somebody in the comment section on the last video I made. They were like, what is ejection Claude? What is this? Is this a new kind of conspiracy? So instead of the, we have to say the railroad jab and we have to say ejection. We just have to make up our own languages. These algorithms are really good, though. I'm actually kind of impressed because I use you guys know I learned I know Spanish and I'm learning Mandarin and stuff. So sometimes I'll watch English videos and you can do like the auto translate. You can do the closed caption and then put the auto translate. So I'll do that, and then like I'll read it, and sometimes they're off, but they're pretty damn close. And the fact that they can understand what people are saying, no matter what their accent is or what their cadence is, it's actually very impressive. And it could be a good tool, but we know this is the thing. A lot of this technology could be used for good and awesome things, but at the end of the day, we know what their plans are. We know how they want to use this technology and how they're using it. So the Roro venom, well, the Roro jab just has a better ring to it to me. What? UCY? When was UCY radio removed, Albert? Was this recently? When was this? We were in UCY TV. We were in UCY radio. Albert, do you know when this was? I have to contact Jules and see how she's doing. Hold on. Thank you for letting me know. What? Oh, fuck these people. Okay, cool. Oh my god. Yeah, we were on that. I mean, technically that means we were removed from there. I wonder if it was our shit. I wonder if I mean, we have our old episodes in there, but we always talked about, you know, jabs and stuff. So I wonder, fuck. Yeah. Albert, are you on UCY? Are you part of UCY? You guys can call 512-481-7464. Oh my god. Yeah, I think Liam was on there before he passed, but they reran some of his shows too. Oh, these people are so evil. This is why y'all need to patronize me. Shameless plug. I need patrons. I'm just this for free. I'm demonetized since before July. I don't exactly remember when, but I know that it was probably like 2 months before July, because I think they were like, yeah, you can reapply in 2 months. What was your show? Albert, you were on UCY? Higher Death and... Yeah. Oh, I had they didn't take my channel down, but I had a video removed. I feel like they're experimenting with me. I think they're just messing with me algorithmically just to see like how far they can push it. They're like, we're gonna leave her up, or we're gonna take subscribers away from her slowly. Oh, the Gunner Show. Yeah, they didn't like you. Primetime, the Gunner Show. They're like, yeah, we can't have people talking about their freedom. Yeah, so I forgot. I did get a notification. I had a whatchamacallit. What am I trying to say? I had a video removed for medical misinformation. I forgot what it was, but they got me on that one. You know, I wonder if you change it to comedy. I changed my subject matter to comedy instead of education. I wonder if that will mess with you change it. You're like, oh, it's we're joking, right? It's a comedy. You know? I don't know. So, is anybody gonna? Well, if nobody's gonna call right now, please just talk to me in the chat. You guys have any questions you want to ask me? My aunt almost set my hair on fire once. Oh my god, on purpose, Megan? Or was it an accident? Were you getting your hair pressed? Did you put too much pink lotion in it? And 512-481-7464. God, man, so glad I don't get my hair pressed anymore. That shit was horrific. I mean, it was horrific though, because my mom was really bad at it, and my mom had no patience, and I also was bad. I held a bad head. I couldn't sit still for long, so I was just like, it was hard for me to sit still, and I'll always get burned. Mom would like burn my ears and shit. Burn the top of my head, have scabs and shit. Hey, Missy, what's going on? So, oh, somebody's calling. Hold on. Good morning, how are you?
Morning, how are you doing?
Good, how are you? Who's this?
Good. Chicago.
Wait, did two people call?
Huh? Apparently.
Wait, are there two people on the line? Oh, no, okay, I heard Jakari. Whoever's on the line. No! What happened? Call back. Okay, I guess that's you. Who's this?
Jakari.
Okay. So, what's up? Hey, Jakari, what's up? How you doing?
Good, how are you?
All right, how's your Wednesday going? I'm going to say Monday. How's your Wednesday going?
It's all right.
It's
I'll just tell you real quick.
What you want to tell me?
I told you I had the Jericho when I was a kid, and also had S-Girls when I was in high school.
You had what? I'm sorry. The Jerry curl and the
I had the Jerry curl when I was a kid. Then I had the S curl when I was in high school. When you have the high top fade, there was the S curl.
Yeah. Okay. So you had the high top fade with the Jerry curl. And yeah. Okay. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
You didn't have like the Soul Glow like Coming to America Jerry curl, did you?
I did when I was a kid, but like I graduated in high school, so I got to getting fade. So I had both of them.
That's funny. Did you keep yours up though? You got to put the activator on it to keep it juicy. It makes your hair grow fast though, because your hair is hydrated all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime you put that curl on, your hot top fade was like real big, man. It was through the roof and stuff. I remember that. That was the only reason we put it on there because like our hair would get bigger. It was like it'd be real tall and stuff. And then, when it was time to put a new one on, it'd be all dried out and stuff. Man, that was a crazy time.
I know. I know. It was so funny, though. Yeah, I remember my mom had one. It's kind of funny. I mean, just, watching the stuff. I have pictures of some of my cousins, like, back in the day with really big afros. But I thought that was cool, like, Afro
was cool. I had an afro when I was real little. I was a baby. I had a big afro.
I have one now.
I had real good hair, actually. I don't know why I messed it up with curls. I had naturally curly hair. I just screwed it up. I didn't even need to put curls on it. I did it anyway, though.
Well, I think, that was just the trend, and people follow the trend, and there's always, it's new stuff coming out and stuff. But I think now I think it's really cool because there's so many channels that teach you how to take care of natural hair,
Yeah.
I don't think I would have had the confidence to be natural had I not seen a lot of those channels. But then I had 3 of my friends were natural too, and their hair was just beautiful, and they knew how to take care of it, So, yeah, that's cool. So what's going on? What are you thinking about this election? Ejection, Claude, this going on?
Ejection, Claude. It just keeps going back and forth. I don't. And you know what's going on about it is I think they're trying to take people's will away from them. It's just like, I'm tired. I'm sick of hearing about this. I don't care anymore.
Yeah,
and you're starting to see people starting to fade away, and they're just tired of it. You can tell.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even really keeping up with it that much, but I know that there's stuff in the works, and I just know that there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm just putting my energy into something else.
Yeah, definitely.
Until we hear results. I'm not, I'm very conscious. As I get older, I'm very conscious of, where I spend my energy. And people say, oh, you have so much energy. But I'm just like, you know what? I think I'm conscious of where I spend my energy. And that helps me preserve energy. So, that was at one point when this happened. I was like looking at it every day. I was like, oh my God, what's new? What's this? What's that? But I'm just like, you know what? I already know the Dominion machines are corrupt. There's already evidence of that. There's already evidence of voter fraud. There's already videos. There's people coming out from Project Veritas. There's people that know about this. There's people that are fighting for this. And there's really nothing that I can do at this point except wait. And if I could afford to go to some of those rallies to support, I'd do that, to show support and to network and to meet other like-minded people. I do that. But at this point, I'm just like, there's nothing I can do. And I'm not going to worry about it. Like they say, worry is like a rocking chair. It gives you comfort, but it takes you nowhere.
Yeah, it really does. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I'm just going to say, like, I have food, I think things are going to get crazy right now. I'm getting food stocked up. I'm getting, stuff like that. I'm connecting with like-minded people in my area. Those are things that you can do right now. But I think that, that's all I can do. I can't make this. There are many pathways that, still can be taken to turn this thing around. And there's so much fraud. And I think most of the people did vote for Trump. So I think we are the majority, even though the media wants to make us think that we're in the minority.
Yeah, definitely.
So
yeah. Go
on.
No. But you saw what happened with all this stuff. Nobody's at Biden's rallies. You know what I mean? Nobody's there. You saw the Trump support through all of that, and we're supposed to sit there and expect that. Oh, okay, he won fair and square. Like, people are not that ignorant.
Yeah.
And the people that's putting up with that is like, okay, this is what we wanted. We're going to just roll with it. And you can tell they just rolling with it because that's what they want. But you can't sit with a straight face on your face, straight face and say, okay, he won legitimately. Even if you're supporting him.
Yeah.
They're just going to accept it, though, because that's what they want.
One of my best friends told me, he said he was voting for Biden, but he didn't think he was going to win. He was like, I'm going to still vote for him, but I don't think he's going to win. I'm like, all right. You know, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so.
I mean, it's almost like when you watch football and you see, like, your favorite team get called for pass interference, or the other team got called for pass interference, but he didn't call a pass interference, you're like, okay, cool. It went against them and not my team. You know what I mean? And you'll put up with it. You know they're guilty of it.
That's
but you're just like, okay, that was my team, so I'm not going to say nothing. That's the same thing that's going on with Biden. It's like, you know that they did something wrong, but you're just accepting it because that's what you want.
And that sucks, dude, because, like, you know, people are so ignorant, they don't realize how it's going to come and bite them in the ass later, you know?
Yeah.
And it's and the hypocrisy. Like, I was talking last night how we love, with my friend, how we love watching Kayleigh McEnany because she's so sharp, you know? And, you know, these stupid-ass reporters, like, you know, come up to her and they ask her these dumbass hypocritical questions. And, you know, one reporter was like, but don't you think it's hypocritical? And she was like, don't you think it's hypocritical that they have this Russia investigation? And she was like, it took this many people and this many resources and this much money for 4 years. But yet, you know, there's all this evidence of election fraud. And you don't even, you know, people are saying that's illegitimate, but there was no proof that there was a Russian collusion whatsoever. You know, these people are fucking demons from hell. I hate them so much, you know?
Yeah.
And then, you know, same James O'Keefe called this, from Project Veritas, who did he call? He called somebody from the New York Times. He was messing with her. But he was like, do you want to be an insider for us? He's like, no, thank you. They were writing a hit piece on them, you know? And it's just like, they think they're journalists, but, you know, they're working for people that are basically, they've driven wedges in humanity. And one of my friends, we were talking about how these people, you know, how they're talking about, oh, the new normal, this is the new normal. And she was like, yeah, we're going to go back maybe to shopping and being physically okay, but our relationships with our family and friends, they're probably never going to be the same again. They're obliterated.
No, you ruined it. Yeah, they ruined
because
that.
of the fucking media.
You know, you can't even walk up. You can't walk even close to a person now. You remember when this year began, though, we can actually sit down and talk with someone, and you didn't think twice about it. You know, but now we're on the edge of, oh, should I say something? Should I not? It's just stupid, man. And that's all TV that done that crap. How do we not see that? It's like we weren't doing this just when the year started. Each time we started hearing something on the media and the news, it kept getting worse and worse, and people just kept listening to what they were saying, and it just kept messing up stuff. Can you not see that you're being controlled by that? How do you not recognize it?
Dude, I want reparations. I'm calling it reparations. You know, like I feel like we're owed reparations for the businesses that have been destroyed, for the family members that have been destroyed. You know, I used to be. You know, I have these neighbors that live below me, and this lady was a cute little girl, and when I moved here, she was 7, and now she's 12. It's crazy. And, you know, they would have a birthday party, and they'd always invite me downstairs to the birthday parties, and you know, I would always, like, buy her a little gift for her birthday and stuff, because I don't have kids, but I love kids, you know. And then, like, now, since this has gone on, and they don't see me wearing a mask, they just, like, they're nice, but they always kind of, like, scurry away from me, and it's heartbreaking. Like, I want to cry, you know? And then, you know, I have a band, and then my music really isn't even political, but I think that one of the band members probably found my channel, or somebody related to the one of the band members saw my channel. So now he was cool with the music and everything so far that we were doing, but now all of a sudden he's just like, oh, well, I can't get behind your political message. I was just like, I'm not even like, I didn't even know that my music was political. But I think that's probably what it was, because all of a sudden it's just like out of the blue. So I'm like, great. Now any band member I have, you know, I'm going to be like, look, I have a channel. These are my views. If you don't want to be associated with this, then, you know, I'm going to, you know, I'm just letting you know up front, because I don't want to be, thank God we didn't go too deep into the project. I mean, I have another drummer already, so it's fine, but it was just kind of heartbreaking that I'm like, oh, great, like, this isn't ever going to end. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate. It really is. You know.
You know, it's broken. So I'm like, I want real reparations. You know?
I agree. Stuff is nonsense.
So,
you know, just the simple things in life. You know, we just let them take it from us. We just let them take it willingly. You know, it's
well,
like,
I didn't let him take it. I ain't taking shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't like here, but yeah.
You know, when I say we, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Of course, there's enough of us that's not putting up with that nonsense, but just.
But I mean,
the average Joe Blow guy, you know.
Yeah, because A, they're people that don't believe in evil. B, they're people that are controlled by fear. You know, and they're people that are controlled by the most powerful thing I think right now is A, authoritarianism and what other people think. Like, you know, they're people that will listen to, they won't do anything unless a doctor tells them to do it. Doctor will be like, oh, you have a stomach? You have a stomach ache? Go home, mix battery acid and milk together and drink it. And it should go away.
And they'll do it.
And they'll do it.
That's the crazy
and they'll
thing.
die, and then they'll come back as a ghost and be like, well, at least my stomach doesn't hurt anymore. You know what I mean? I did what the doctor says. Like, that's how, like, fucking brainwashed people are. Like, they won't use their common sense, you know? And
common sense, yes, exactly.
The lady that I did the update on that was, you know, found dead, and, you know, now her friends and family are saying that it was a gallbladder. I mean, I'm not going to get into that, but what I am going to get into, I saw a post saying that, you know, I think she was having stomach pain. She didn't want to go to the hospital. And one lady was like, well, I wish she would have gone to the hospital. Had she gone to the hospital, she would probably still be alive today. I'm thinking maybe.
And do you believe that? Do you believe that?
I mean,
they probably would try to take her out, you know.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, I was thinking about it, and like I said in the update, I'm not a grieving friend or family member, but I was thinking in terms of what she, like her head, I would have done what she did because she doesn't trust. She used to work for the pharmaceutical industry. She knows how these people roll. She doesn't trust them. Yeah. And she was a high target person. So, A, they could have got her in the hospital, or just with the COVID situation, you know, they're just diagnosing people with COVID and throwing them on ventilators and killing them that way. Yep. And Beverly Beatty, I didn't read it, but Beverly Beatty was basically saying that, like, she when she was stabbed, she got a lung infection because I think they stabbed her, like, in the lungs. And,
good person.
Yeah, and then, but then she was saying that, had it not been her family and her friends that advocated and her fans that advocated for her, they were trying to get her put on a ventilator. And she didn't even need a ventilator. So, you know, like just shit like that. So I totally agree with her. And I'm thinking about, you know, the lady's name is Brandy. I'm thinking about her and I'm just like, you know, God forbid if something like that happened to me, nobody in my family would fight for me. You know, my mom doesn't really, she loves me and supports me and doesn't judge me, but she doesn't understand the evil that's going on to the extent it is and all the intricacies. My brother is a diehard leftist and, you know, is super pro-vax and, you know what I mean? Like, doesn't, so he would have been like, oh, that's just conspiracy. Like, you know, he would like, you should have gotten to the hospital. You know, like he would have been like that. My uncle would have been like that. My cousin would have been like that. Okay. Like, my dad's incapacitated to really, you know, do anything about it. So I wouldn't have had anybody to fight for me either. So I totally see where she was coming from in the sense that, you know, she didn't trust these MFers. You know, she wanted to go, like, plus, you know, I believe, just with my research and my personal experience, I believe that surgery really is for super, super, super emergencies. Maybe in her case, if she had a ruptured gallbladder, they would have been able to open it up and either stop it, sew it up, and fix it. I don't know. But there are also complications that come with surgeries afterwards, even if they go in for emergency. You know, because you have to deal with scar tissue internally and healing and some of the drugs they put you on and detoxing from all of that, you know. Yeah. You know, I just, you know, knock on wood, I am avoiding having to do any more surgeries again at all costs. I've had to have surgeries for certain health issues, but I'm trying to avoid all.
You know, a couple years ago, I was in the hospital and they were just they were trying to experiment on me. I got a feeling like if they would have gave me that surgery that one morning, I don't think I'd be here right now. I mean, I knew that was God telling me not to do it because I wasn't comfortable at all. Because they were just experimenting. They was like, we're going to do surgery. We'll see what happens. That was the attitude that they had. And if they really needed to do surgery with me, they would have done it that day. They wouldn't have waited.
Do you mind me asking what happened?
Go home about it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think I probably would have been there, man. Because I did not feel good about that. And you know, so funny, my nurse came in. She said, "You're going to go home, right?" I was like, "Yep." See, I felt that in my spirit. I was like, "Wow." So I know that was God like, "No, don't do it." Because I probably wouldn't have been, probably wouldn't survive that surgery. And that is so crazy. And they were just experimenting with me. You know, they had me sitting in there for a week, you know, just playing around, raising my insurance up, you know. And that was the whole game of it, you know, doing experimental surgeries and all that. You know, they gave me a colonoscopy. Didn't even let me recover. They started running more tests on me. I'm still drunk off the darn stuff. I mean, it was just ridiculous, man. And they don't care. They don't.
Yeah, and I think there is a dehumanization process or a detachment process that happens during medical school because they put you through so much rigorous training and it's a lot of sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that, you know, I wonder if anybody is going to challenge the medical training in the future. I hope that's so because I also, I mean, I feel bad for the doctors too because I think most people do go in wanting to help people, but they also have to detach their emotions because people die a lot and, you know, but I also think that they're also brainwashed, you know.
They are.
And it's not fair to them because a lot of them sacrifice so much money and they're also not only brainwashed, but they're in debt slaves, you know. So it's just a fucked up system all around.
It really is. And it's gotten worse and worse over the years. More and more of these doctors getting the contract with these medical, this medicine, you know, they got to push that because they're getting a bonus off of it. You know.
They're not going to think about it.
It was pissing them off because I didn't take medication. They were mad at me. Like, you don't want nothing? Like, nothing. Don't give me anything, you know?
Yeah, I have a friend that's
I know you're getting a cutback on that.
Yeah, I have a friend that's in her 50s. I have a friend that's in her 50s, and she was like, she went to the doctor, and they're like, you're not on any medications. And she's like, should I be? And they're like, well, you're in your 50s. And she's like, okay. But I'm healthy, right? It was not a good thing. And they were trying to prescribe her some shit. She's like, I don't want any medicine. I'm not on any medications. That should be a good thing. Why are you trying to give me medications? But, you know, when we did our podcast, we interviewed this lady named, you guys can check out another plug. You guys can go to SoundCloud and check out our old podcast for free. We interviewed this lady named Gwen Olson, and she was a pharmaceutical rep. She was one of the first pharmaceutical. There have been more now that have come out through the years, but she was one of the first ones that I heard of that actually was speaking out. And she basically said that they would have meetings where they would go in and they would say that we want at least everybody on the planet prescribed on at least two medications minimum. 2.
Oh my
That's
God.
their goal. That's their fucking goal. To get people, so you have to, you know, at that point you're like, yeah, it's not about keeping people healthy. It's about people enslaving people to medicine, to, you know, and then, you know, and then the medicines cause side effects. So then you have to get more medicine for those side effects, and then it just goes on and on. It's like it's a vicious circle.
Yep, it is, and they know, and you know, they get paid off of this racket. They get paid off of it.
Yeah, they do.
It's way more profitable. They know that.
They do.
And you know, a person like me that takes vitamins, I went to school for nutrition. You know, when you learn the basic things of how your body's supposed to function, they tell you, oh, that don't work, don't use that. You know, basic common sense to tell you, hey, man, if you want to get an immune system, make sure you get vitamin D. Make sure you go outside. This is basic human stuff.
Yeah.
But you'd rather put me on medication instead of me going to the store and getting some high-potent vitamins or just eating a clean diet, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
You know, everybody living off of Cheetos all the goddamn time.
Oh, man, those
you know
are
what I mean?
real food, man. That's styrofoam with radiation dust. That's what I think Cheetos are.
Yeah.
I used to watch some of my students eat those, and their hangers would have that, like, dust on it. I'd just be like, I don't think that's real food. And they're like, teacher, do you want some? I was like, no, I'm good.
I had some, like, a couple months ago, and, man, I almost wanted to puke. I was like, how did I used to eat this garbage? Like, you know, just...
Yeah, it's funny, though, too. Once you start eating healthy, and then you start eating junk food, you can taste it, really. Like, you can tell the difference, and it makes you sick.
Yeah, it does.
Only thing I'd still do eat, though, which is bad sometimes, is like Reese's peanut butter cups. Yeah, I can still taste it a little bit, but I'm like, oh, it's so bad. I feel I'm going to hell. But yeah, I'm like, it's poison. I'm really trying not to eat that stuff. But
Yeah.
But anyway, let me take some more calls, Jakari, and
All right.
thanks for calling. Hang in there, man. I think it's gonna be okay.
It will.
If not, y'all gonna come after me in a month. You'll be like, "You lied to me." I'm scared. I'm putting a lot out there by being cool and telling everybody it's gonna be okay. Because if it isn't, then y'all gonna be like,
it's all good.
Yeah. All right, good. Well, you have a great day.
All right, talk to you later.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye.
512-481-7464. 512-481-7464. I don't know how that happened. It said it was one person calling. I don't know what happened. Who else wants to call? Cerebro, you want to call back? Anybody else want to call? 512-481-7464. What's going on in the chat? What are you guys talking about? What's up, Citizen? Hey, Citizen Man, what's up? I subscribed to your channel. Hey, you guys check out another really good channel, Citizen Man. Look him up. I helped a family member get off a handful of meds through detox and nutrition. Yeah, that shit's real, dude. That's just real. That's just... Oh, shit, somebody's calling. Who is it? Who is it? No, I'm just kidding. Good morning.
What up, G? How's it going?
Hey, Cyril, what's up? Who is it? It was that answer the phone.
That was funny. I never expected that to happen.
What, the two people online?
Yeah, that was me.
That's happened before. I don't know why that happens. There is a little thing where you can merge the calls, but I didn't hit that. I don't know. So, how you doing?
How you doing?
Good. How's Colorado? Is it snowing yet?
We've got a little bit of snow. I mean, they're claiming, that we're not going to get as much snow and that all hell's going to break loose in the ski season this year. And they've already, at least at the ski resort, started threatening all of us. Basically, they're like, we're not going to cloud seed this year. We're not going to produce snow. We're not going to do anything to, take care of it, all you people that bought for the passes this year because, COVID, we can't hire enough people to, maintain the mountains this year. It was like, what?
They just admitted to cloud seeding? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, I was laughing about this because Grace had done a video, I want to say within the last month about cloud seeding, and I just started laughing because one of my, close friends was like, no, that's not possible to do, cloud seed and all this, and then Vail, you can look it up, you can go Google it. Vail is straight up saying we're not going to cloud seed this year. You guys are just screwed. We don't plan to get much snow. The mountains are screwed,
That's so funny. That's so funny. It's also a semantics too, right? Because I actually talk about this in my Surrealist course near the end. I think it's the innovation and suppression, where there was what's his face? There was this guy. I always get Royal Reich and William Reich. I think it was William Reich made this
Royal Raymond Reich.
No, there's a Royal Raymond Reich and then there's a William Reich. That's why they're two different people. So I think it was William Reich, R-E-I-C-H, whatever. He made a cloud seeding machine. This is back in the 30s to get people to get places to rain, and it worked. It worked. Well, sources say that it worked, but then he basically the fake news media, basically the press, right, attacked him. It was like, oh, it's lies, blah 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 blah, it's stupid, blah blah. But then in the 70s, they basically had a cloud seeding machine that China's invested in and other countries have invested in for rain, and it looks almost exactly like the original machine that William Reich invented. I'm like, right? So they basically wanted to take over his invention, and now you have the chemtrailing and stuff, but then you don't look up chemtrails, you look up geoengineering, and that's what they call it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you make me think back to when I was younger. I remember reading an article in the Discover magazine. This is back right after China had the Olympics, and they had this whole article about how. Do you remember about how the weather was all funky except around China during the Olympics that year? It was going into how
they
had a weather machine.
Yeah. No, but that's
just I just laughed.
Hello?
No, I'm there. I'm here. Sorry, that was awkward. I didn't want to, like, I just
No,
let you finish your...
but that's just conspiracy. So basically, somebody says I need to look up cloud shooting. Yeah, they basically shoot something in the sky that goes into the clouds, and it gets the water molecules to like stick together, and if enough stick together, then it can cause rainfall. That's how it's supposed to work. I guess
Right.
they're different ways or different chemicals to do that, but and they're different agendas for chemtrailing. Stratospheric
Yeah.
aerosol injection, somebody said. Yeah. So yeah.
It just blows my mind that they not only admitted to like something that is considered conspiracy, but then they're basically saying like, hey, we're creating a new kind of situation, and I know here soon they're going to come out with articles saying like, climate change, it's all your fault. All the tourists coming to the mountains, like they're going to come up with something, to say like, look, this is why we should, start capping how many people are allowed to come and experience it, because look at the damage you all have done over the years. The climate change is from all of you. And, we've already seen how like they're bringing everything together for the Great Reset with the whole, not just the Roro jab, but like, and the other stuff we can't mention. I'm afraid to say it.
You have to say ejection, Claude. Ejection, Claude. Ejection, Claude.
But what was that?
You said ejection, Claude.
Ejection. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's other than that, Colorado, it's interesting kind of watching the mindset of everything. I read on Twitter today, like one of the other guys that's really good at doing research. He said that he, like in one of our counties, 40% of the comorbidities for COVID was gunshots.
Sure. I'm sorry, it's not funny, it's just crazy. You know what's so funny? And
Right?
not the cousin that's always harassing me, but another cousin that I'm close to, she's not conspiracy minded at all, but she's cool. Like she doesn't really care my political leanings, but she's not really passionate either way or so. But we were talking, and I was telling her about that, and she was like, yeah, she goes, this is weird. Like my friend works in a morgue, and this gangbanger came with a gunshot wound to the head, and they wrote him down as COVID. So I believe it. So when you say, I'm like, are you serious, dude? She's like, yeah, this is weird. I don't know what's going on. And I think the family couldn't get it off the death certificate.
It's like my neighbor. She's in what is that they call that study? I know it begins with a P. God, I keep thinking like philanthropy because of Gates, and like our governor has that in his whole like, well, I'm a perfect human being, but I can't remember pathology. There's a woman on my street that works in a pathology office, and so like she's constantly looking over all the dead bodies and stuff, and it's just super hilarious. She was like, everyone in my cul-de-sac, like we call ourselves a little bubble, but like we're all against everything. We've been allowing the children to play and all this stuff, and like she's been allowing her kids to play with all the other kids too. But then she's been like encouraging all this, like, you need to get this because I see personally all the people that have been dying from this. And like,
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, but you
I'm sorry, I'm going, yeah, but I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah, what?
But yeah, like, it's just like, okay, how many of those people were car accidents, and you're just looking at it, and you're not putting two and two together. You're like, oh my gosh, they were killed head on in a collision, but they died of COVID.
How many people died of pneumonia or had pneumonia? I haven't talked with her about it because I think we're just trying to avoid it. I know she doesn't like confrontation, and I know if it comes up, I'm not going to keep my mouth shut. But I heard through my mom that my best friend's husband got COVID and was really sick. But I also know that there's pneumonia, and I also know that he works at Costco and they have to wear a mask every day. So I'm thinking, okay, well, he probably got a lung infection from wearing a mask every day.
Yeah.
More than COVID, but I'm not going to tell her that because I'm like, okay, well, if these masks work, and if you're wearing a mask every day to work, everywhere you go, then how come he still got the COVID? And if you know that these masks harbor bacteria, then why are you, then you would also, that's another possibility that you probably got a lung infection from wearing the mask. And then, they don't give the tests are false positives, and when they look for the virus, they don't see the virus when they give a positive diagnosis. Like, most people think that they're getting a microscope and they're looking for the virus, and they're like, oh, there it is, that's what you have. But no, it's getting samples of RNA with proteins, which are markers, which anything can give you those markers. Being pregnant, being around dogs, having the flu shot can make you positive for those markers. So it's just such bullshit. And most people don't even understand how these tests work. And they're just like, and they don't even understand the difference between assumptive diagnosis and diagnosis through like assays, testing and stuff. Because a lot of the cases too, I've heard are, people are just assume, like even when you go to the doctor and they diagnose you by your symptoms, technically that's not scientific. They're just like, oh, you're coughing, you have a fever, you have a runny nose, oh, that's the flu. But technically, they should get like a microscopic sample of some of your fluids to see if you have the flu virus in you. And I'm not even saying that I agree with the whole virus theory, but I mean, like, most people don't even, I didn't know this until later too. I'm like, oh, but most people don't even know that. They're just like, because how do you determine whether somebody has a cold or the flu, right?
Right.
I mean, you can guess and you can assume, but bronchitis versus pneumonia, you have to have a chest X-ray at least to see if your lungs are inflamed or infected, to see if you have pneumonia. Before they diagnose you with that.
The one time I called and I told you about I had appendicitis at one time. I went to the ER and they're like, no, you don't have appendicitis. I'm like, no, I know I have this. Oh, well, you said you smoke pot, so you must have cannabis hyperemesis. And I was like, no, that's just what the media people are saying.
What is cannabis hyperemesis?
What is cannabis hyperemesis? So they claim that if you smoke too much or you intake too much cannabis, that your body gets so oversensitive to it, and so then your stomach hurts really bad. And that one of the ways people were like, the first thing they'll ask you is like, did you take a warm shower? Because they claim warm showers will get rid of the pain in your stomach. And I just looked at them. I'm like, no, I'm telling you on my right side, if you press on it where my appendix is, it's shooting pain everywhere. Mm-hmm. I had to literally threaten to sue them that if my appendix ruptures, that I'm going to come after them legally, and then they would give me the CAT scan. And I was super peeved at them, because then they came back to me and they said, hey, we have to put you under emergency surgery ASAP because you're going to die. And I just looked at them. I was like, but you just told me when they came in here, you argued with me for 2 hours straight. 2 hours. I sat in that room arguing with nurses. I was like, no, bring in someone that actually knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
All of you guys are just, and it kind of at the time, I had this thought, are they testing something on people? Because everyone that works in the cannabis industry that's a doctor knows right away that it was complete BS. They all started laughing, and they're like, did they do these certain tests? Why didn't they test for this? I can't believe they would just do malpractice just because lobbyists are saying, tobacco lobbyists and other people and the cancer lobbyists, because they're losing a lot of money here in Colorado at one point from people saying, I don't want to have chemotherapy, I'd rather do CBD therapy. So it was a whole interesting thing.
It's even crazier. So check this out. And I asked if my friend would want to if I can interview this guy, but I don't know if he wants to be. I'm just offering a platform too, because I think people need to know what's going on. But my friend has her friend's friend, I should say, our friend's client, basically is a doctor that I think he's a chiropractor, and he has some other alternative health certification, And basically they're trying to, he's been making so much money doing alternative treatments from the, because of the COVID or just cancer and stuff too. He was saying he was making a crap ton of money doing vitamin C IV, which that shit's amazing. That the vitamin C IVs are like phenomenal, right? And cures people, cures cancer. Is just so yeah. Anyway, so basically they're keeping him from getting medical supplies now. So the medical suppliers that supply the IV bags have been told from higher ups not to sell, only to sell to MDs. So he can't get medical supplies anywhere. Not only that, they hacked his appointment system and tied up all of his appointments. So he can't get any appointments from real people that need them. And then they also gave him a bunch of bad reviews online, just all of a sudden, just out of nowhere. Yeah. So they basically like destroyed his career. Maybe hopefully it won't long, but I mean this is just like the Flexner report all over again, And this is why I get mad and I say it's conspiracy, because it's not like the alternative medicine. What makes it conspiracy is the fact that alternative medicine is thriving and there are people that are trying to stop it. That's what makes it conspiracy. Yeah. And again, I talk about this in my course. I'm just gonna keep plugging my course, okay? I'm just saying. But there's this guy in Texas who's his name is Stanislaw Brzezinski. Have you heard of him?
No, but I'll have to look him up.
Yeah, dude. There's a documentary on him on cancer. So basically, he does like he's cured like incurable cancers using this technique called antineoplaston therapy, and there are these peptides that he noticed that healthy people have, but people that with cancer do not have. And basically, he gets the peptides from blood and urine from donors, and he just gives it to them here for it. It's non-toxic. You can't overdose from it, right? And it just straight up kills the cancer, like brain cancer, like people that were like, there's nothing we can do for you. You have brain cancer. You only have 3 months to live. He's cured them completely. Then he has a shit ton of patients he's cured, okay, from all these incurable cancers. And every year, the FDA sues him. And he always wins because all his patients always come out and support him, and they show he has like a mountain of evidence showing that his treatment can cure people and has cured people and is non-toxic, but they don't like the fact that the FDA hasn't approved. Like he needs their permission to say whether they can cure. Yeah. It's fucking unreal.
Double stamp that these people kind of like put on us, right? It's like they say that we created say like the FDA and stuff to protect us, and it's like yet they will approve things like a RNA vaccine that's never been completed, never been tested, we've never done it before, could kill millions
with fucking nanobots inside. Fuck that shit.
Right.
Fucking hydrogel.
Like, I mean, but it just makes you think back to radium, and when they were like, they had doctors like signing up, they're like, hey, we paid a bunch of doctors off, and you all know that doctors tell you that white coat tells you that they're the authority on this, and they say smoking is good for you. And it's like a whistleblower comes out later and is like, no, actually that's not true, and then we had to rechange everything. And then did any of those doctors get ever punished for? They knew what they were doing. They knew 100% that they were taking a contractual agreement, taking money, and saying, yeah, okay, you can put my name down and say, yeah, smoking cigarettes doesn't cause cancer. It's good for your teeth.
Yes, they had dentists say that shit, and doctors.
Yeah.
And I talk about this in my course. Because like, people need to understand how deep this goes and how this has been going on a long time, so they can fully get the whole picture. And I'm looking at this course, and I really want it for homeschoolers and teenagers, because a lot of my friends are having issues with their kids because, you know, when you're a teenager, you know, being accepted is the most important thing, right? So even though their parents are being like, look at this evidence, look at that evidence, look at this evidence, it's like they want to be accepted by their friends, and B, they're too young to understand corruption. And if they don't understand the history of things and how this happens, then they won't be able to understand what's going on now. Like, these poor kids, they're nice. Children are nice, and they don't believe that the evil exists. So just like, well, why would they do that? Why would the government lie to us, Mom? Why would the government, you know, create a hoax? Why would they tell us something if it wasn't true? That's just stupid, you know?
Oh man, you should have seen it. So my Governor Polis, came out with a video with him and his first gentleman, his husband, and they were reading from a computer about his husband's experience from 2 days prior going through COVID, and how he's apparently still is going through it, even though he's breathing fine. His face, like his skin color, is like has color to it. It's not like white and pasty. Like, he looks like he's healthy. He's breathing fine. You know, there's nothing in his eyes saying that he had giardia or that you know, his liver and kidneys were like working overtime to, you know, purify the blood from the virus. Like, it was just super hilarious, but it was so cringy because, like, they're telling everybody, like, no, you need to still wear the mask and listen to us. And it's like the guy's like, you can see his eyes going back and forth. You can see the screen like reflecting off his eyes, and it's just like the most unempathetic, you know, it was just so cringy, just how fake it was. That he's like, yeah, I this is what I experienced. You know, I felt like I was having chills, cold, couldn't breathe, and then he stops for a second, and then Polis chimes in, that's right, and if you continue to do what we tell you, you're going to be completely safe and sane because we're here for you. And then Marlon, his husband, keeps reading, also, if you look at my arm, see how I have an oximeter on my hand? It's like, so you have an oximeter, like, that you're breathing fine, and we know that if you were having issues breathing, they wouldn't want to discharge you from the hospital until you'd be on oxygen. But here you are showing everybody that you're fine. And then not only did they put this video up claiming that they were still, both of them were still ill and sick, 2 days later, Polis is out making this big video about how he's accepting the new vaccine that came in. And it's like, I thought you said you have to quarantine for a certain amount of time or show that you're, you know.
Yeah, they keep moving the goalposts. This is some bullshit, you know. They keep moving the goalposts. It's
you'll have to. It's a 5-minute video, but you have to watch it, and it's just hard to like get through because you're like,
damn, dude. Yeah, I mean, you guys just gave me an idea. Let me let you go because I wanna show another clip and I wanna take some more calls. But I'm actually gonna show part of the movie I was talking about because people asking about it in the chat. So it's on YouTube, but I'm gonna just to kind of get up on what we were talking about. I'm gonna show you guys some of the movie. Okay. All right. Thanks.
Have a great day.
Okay. Bye. All right. Bye. Good. So I'm gonna pause on the calls for a minute. I'm going to show this clip to you guys. This will blow your mind. And, you know, the thing about cancer, I tell people, I know Ty and Charlene Berlinger, they have a really good docuseries called The Truth About Cancer, and they basically do a whole, like, maybe I can have them on again as interviewers. I have an interview list a mile long of people I'm trying to interview on various topics, but we did interview them on our podcast, but they have, and if you can listen to the podcast on SoundCloud, but Cancer Serious Business, let me see, a documentary by Eric Marotta. I'm going to play the first few minutes of this so you can see what I'm talking about with this dude. And the thing about this is I try and get people informed about this stuff before they're diagnosed, if they do happen to get diagnosed with cancer, because it's like when you're diagnosed, people get so scared, right? The fear kicks in and people will do stuff even if they know it goes against their own their own instincts because they're scared and they don't want to die. It's that fear of death. They use the fear of death to get you to capitulate. So let me just play this. This is really good. First 10 minutes or so.
It is very difficult for some reason to obtain permission to treat patients in the United States. I think this country has the finest bureaucratic regulations in the world, and the other countries are way behind. Here, the patient has to go to very difficult bureaucratic process, which usually most of the patients will not be able to go through because they die during the process. For some reason, they don't want to have cure of cancer.
My name is Sergeant Rick Schiff. I'm an 11-year veteran of the San Francisco Police Department. I hold the department's highest Medal of Honor for bravery. That used to mean a lot more to me than it does now. What I'd like to talk to you about today is my now 7-year-old daughter. This is an identical twin. Her sister is now dead. Her sister, when she was 4 years old, Kristen, developed a highly malignant brain tumor that had spread throughout her spine and her brain. The doctors told us that we had really two options: take her home, let her die, or bring her in for massive dosages of chemo and radiation simultaneously. In either event, she was going to die. They were quite certain of that, and very quickly. Believing her only chance to be the standard route, we gave her the chemo and radiation. It burned her skull so bad she had second-degree burns and her hair never came back. To change her diapers, we had to wear rubber gloves because her urine was so toxic and it burned her. At the end of 6 months, miraculously, she survived the standard treatment, although there was a high expectation she wouldn't. She still had cancer. We were told, sorry, we've done everything we can. Now she's going to die, probably within a couple of months. My wife and I, choosing not to accept that, started reading. The first book I picked up, the 3rd chapter, discussed Dr. Brzezinski. As you may guess, I have some expertise in fraud. In fact, I'm quite certain there are enough attorneys in the room that I could be vordeered as an expert in fraud. And I conducted my own investigation. I have no doubt the man is not a fraud. I have no doubt that he does what he does out of earnest belief that his medicine works. And now you're in a position to judge for yourselves whether it works or not. But it's well established by the FDA that it's non-toxic. 18 months later, we took my daughter off the anti-neoplastin. She had not died. She had no signs of tumor. She remained free for 18 months of cancer. Within a month, the cancer was widespread in her brain. We put her back on Brzezinski's. By the way, at the objections of our doctors, for some reason felt that it had failed her. We put her back on. Within 9 weeks, the tumor was completely gone. She died last July of neurological necrosis. Her brain fell apart from the radiation. The autopsy showed that she was completely cancer-free. Out of 52 cases of that disease ever, no one died cancer-free, just Chrissy. So she didn't die of a terminal illness. She died of my inability to care for her properly, and she died from bad advice. She died because there's a government institution that disseminates false information and is not looking out for the welfare of the people. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I swore an oath 11 years ago, and I think most of us in this room swore at one time or another to uphold the Constitution. It says life right in the beginning.
I first heard of Dr. Brzezinski back in the late 1980s when he was in a battle with the Texas Medical Board and the FDA regarding his innovative approach to cancer. I wasn't surprised by that. Anyone who's innovative in medicine creates waves in the medical system. However, in his case, I was continually surprised that they didn't put him out of business. I kept hearing about him. So in the mid-1990s, I said, Dr. Brzezinski, I want to come down to visit your clinic and find out what you're doing. It's very new to me. When I arrived, he had 7 charts ready for me to review that had been reviewed by the National Cancer Institute, who also made a site visit the year before. The National Cancer Institute reported that these 7 patients were either in complete remission or there was substantial improvement. I was astounded. Dr. Brzezinski had MRIs of brain tumors known to be almost universally fatal, and it simply disappeared.
A Polish native named Stanislaw Brzezinski attended Lublin Medical University, where he graduated first in his class at age 24, and then received his PhD in biochemistry the following year. While undergoing his research to acquire his PhD, Dr. Brzezinski made a profound discovery. He found a strain of peptides in human blood and urine that had never before been recorded in biomedical research. As his curiosity in these peptides evolved, he made another profound observation. People who were inflicted with cancer seemed to lack these newly discovered peptides in both their blood and urine, while those who were healthy and free of cancer appeared to have an abundance of these peptides. Dr. Brzezinski theorized that if he could somehow provide a way to chemically extract these peptides from the blood and urine of healthy donors and administer these peptides to those with cancer, perhaps it could be useful in treating the disease.
Before I started, I asked the lawyers for the advice. Can I use experimental treatment, which was the treatment with antioplastons? Can I use this in my private practice, and can I be involved in cancer research? Simple as the private company.
Dr. Brzezinski's attorneys investigated both state and federal law to find out if it was legal for him to start his own biomedical research company, making anti-neoplastons and administering them to his patients within his private practice. They found that according to both the Texas state and federal law, the use of any drug or new drug can be used to meet the immediate needs of the patients of a licensed doctor, particularly when there is no other available option for them. The law stated that such activity was not governed at the time by the Texas Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act and is not otherwise unlawful under the laws of the state of Texas. However, Dr. Brzezinski would not be legally allowed to introduce or deliver anti-neoplastons into interstate commerce, which means he had to keep his activities only within the state of Texas to avoid breaking any federal laws. As long as he did this, his actions were not within the regulatory authority of the FDA. However, once word began to spread that Dr. Brzezinski was successfully treating what was once considered terminal incurable cancer patients, people began traveling from all over the country to receive anti-neoplaston treatment.
We're talking with Dr. Stanislaw Brzezinski, who is an MD and a PhD, has done some experimental work in the area of cancer, and has come up with some very interesting studies, which have been backed up by about 4.5 years of investigation. We've had 2 patients who appear to be in differing states of remission. Now, we started to talk a little bit about the medical community's acceptance of all this. How is your research funded?
Initially, my research was funded from National Cancer Institute and from Baylor College of Medicine. After I decided to open my laboratory, the only funds available for me were loans from the banks, patients' fees, and payments from the insurance companies.
Could you stand for just a minute, Dr. Gardner? This is Dr. Harold Gardner. Now, is there anything about this that you find controversial? I mean, his treatment, does it have a good scientific background hypothesis and really controlled studies behind it?
Yes, as the science of investigation goes, Dr. Brzezinski's studies have been quite professional, certainly as creditable as most at Wayne State and the University of Michigan and others, which I'm tied to directly. The controversy is less in his approach on a therapy basis than it is his approach organizationally. And much of the medical and hospital industry operates as a very closed shop. And if you have ideas that might in one way or another jeopardize that economic base, you fall into disfavor very quickly.
That is an incredible statement that you've just made.
And I've been involved with several patients who have chosen options in Europe and in Canada, and those options are not available in this country because of economic and organizational reasons.
not because of scientific reasons.
Thank you.
For a long time, I didn't have any contact.
All right, it's kind of long, so I put the link in the chat. It's on YouTube, dudes. Go and make a copy like today. I'll also. It's called, you can Google, it's called Brzezinski, Cancer is Serious Business, a documentary by Eric Merola. So, he's not related to Zbigniew Brzezinski, Mika Brzezinski's. He's not, I'm saying not, the evil. He's not the evil Brzezinski. But this is the good Brzezinski, I like to say. So, oh yeah, I just learned about ivermectin too. Yeah. Yeah, there's so many ways to cure cancer. Look at baking soda. I mean, I've heard of the baking soda cure. I've heard of Gerson therapy. I've heard of oxygen therapy. I've heard of this one, the antineoplaston therapy. I've heard of what do you call it? Am I gone? Is it gone? Okay, sorry. There's so many, what? I'm gone? Oh, this is some bullshit. They fucking cut my stream. This is some bullshit.